You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cannabis and Coffee with me, Tamarijuana. Well, it's kind of a great day out there today, but we're trying to stay positive and on the positive because there's so much negative going on in this world right now. So we're just going to keep on trucking and keep on keeping. There's a few things that are coming up. We have Grow Up that's happening in Vancouver on the 19th of this month. There are other events that, we don't really hear about so much because we're not involved in the legal market. And a lot of them, they just don't let us know about. We also have patients that have been left behind in the gaps that have been fading in between recreational and medical. And last week I mentioned on my show that I think that this new Pharmacare Act that Canada is putting together for pharmaceuticals should cover cannabis for patients as well. Now, I have brought Cheryl and Hayley on my show prior to this. This is probably the fourth or fifth time I've had them on the show in the last little bit, but this will be the first show of 2026 that I have them on, and they're actually my first guests for 2026 this year. And there's been a lot of great updates. Hayley, I'll just bring them on and let you see for yourselves. So, without further ado, Cheryl and Hayley Rose. Good morning, folks.
Good morning. Hi, good morning. How are you? Yeah.
Lighten it up because, honestly, I'm faking it till I make it today. I'm having a hard time getting around. It's just, walking on Lego, right? So, yeah. But hey, let's fake it till we make it because that's what we do as patients, right? As people that use cannabis for medicine or people that suffer from anything and don't use cannabis for medicine. Most of us with disabilities or have any afflictions that are, chronic illness, it affects our lives on a daily basis and we fake it till we make it because society has given us no options. We can't live in dignity. We can't even have a living wage to live on, never mind living in a place that's nice. We're supposed to live in poverty with no dignity, right?
Yep. I agree.
So, that being said, Mrs. I went back to university and I've got a research thing going on, which I'm so proud of you. Because being a single mom that had struggled for so many years with Hayley being disabled and having other kids and, your own disabilities, life is tough, right? And you are one of the most inspirational people I know that just never, ever gave up. Right from the get-go, from the first time I met you in 2012 when we met in Ottawa, bringing Hayley out to, fight for the fact that they'd taken 10 weeks to give her license.
Yes.
Right? We were fighting for that. We were kind of snickering about that yesterday too, or the day before, because they still wait 10 weeks right up until the day before you're supposed to get your license to give you your fucking license. It's almost like a prerequisite. Like same with CPP. Well, we got 3 months. We're going to make them sweat it for 3 months. And I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand the bureaucracy of that. Like, if it comes in there, why can't it be just first come, first serve, get it signed, get it stamped, and get it back in the mail so that you take and alleviate that fucking stress off the people that are already dealing with enough stress in their lives trying to pay their bills and get their medicine. Because let's face it, this ain't covered by any insurance. It ain't covered by no PWD.
That's a major issue. Major issue. Right? Absolutely.
The only people that are able to get this covered by their benefits is veterans.
And there's limits, isn't there?
They were given a limit per gram per market value. Now they're crying. I wouldn't say crying. I shouldn't word it that way. Now they're upset because the market value of cannabis has gone down to $6.50 a gram, and they were getting $8.50 a gram, and now they're being cut back to $6.50 a gram because cannabis's market price has gone down. So they feel like they're being targeted because they're veterans to have their cannabis being taken down, but in reality, it's just the market, and the market has gone down. And I believe that they shouldn't have, to do that, but that's the way the government works. They always do kiosks for cost efficiency, right? Because Canadian taxpayers are paying for it. So Canadians demand transparency, no matter how you look at it, right? And it's unfortunate, but right now the market price for cannabis has gone down to $6.50. So they're only willing to cover that. And I believe it's a reimbursement too. I'm not sure that they pay for it up front. I'm not sure. I've been trying to get one of my veteran friends on TikTok to come on and talk to me about it, but he's not really sure about how he should word. He's got PTSD too, so he does okay like doing videos like where he's talking, but I'm not sure he does so great in interviews. So we've just I've left it in his court, because you can ask people as guests to come on, but it's their choice whether they want to.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get to you. So now that we see that Hayley's got her hair cut.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
From the last time, and you guys had a good New Year's and everything's rolling in. So let's get to what you can and can't talk about. So you were trying to, I know you were trying to be a speaker at Grow Up, and that you missed the deadline cut off for that. So you're not going to be able to speak at Grow Up, but you're going to be.
No, but I am going, and Hayley will be making an appearance. I will be there all 3 days, and Hayley will be making an appearance.
Right.
And you have which day.
Right, and you have other contacts and connections that will be speaking, so maybe they can possibly help you get part of their time, would be my suggestion to any one of them. John.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm already scheduling meetings, so.
That's excellent. And that's exactly what you needed to do. Like we've talked about this behind the scenes and networking and doing the right connections. And that's my best thing. Like, I don't want to be in front. I'm the one that connects the dots and facilitates, and people kind of like use my back to walk over top to get to the next point in that retribute. Seriously. But again, that's my job. My job is to connect the dots for people to be able to connect to each other, whether, without being in the way. I don't like being the middleman. So it's like, here's so-and-so and here and so-and-so, bye, I'm out. And that connection then connects, and it then grows, right?
Yeah.
So are you gonna spill the tea?
Okay, so since September 20th, 2022, when I had gotten a hold of Dr. William Courtney, he's been working with my daughter, with Hayley's team, and for raw cannabis juice. We also knew right from the very beginning. What?
You want to show them what meds?
Oh, yeah, this is her blister packs. Like, we're talking,
But those have
gotten a lot of smaller in there, right?
I know, but they've also gotten smaller, right? Hey,
yeah,
like you're not taking nearly the medications you were.
No, I came off a few of them, but one of them I'm still having troubles coming off.
Here's another thing for people that have maybe never met Hayley before, or just first time viewing Cheryl and Hayley. 10 years ago, Hayley couldn't have answered that question for herself. 5 years ago, Hayley couldn't have answered that question for herself. Because of cannabis juice and a keto diet and microgreens, Hayley is a totally different person.
Do you want to tell them what's recently happened? What you got to do?
What I got to do on Christmas? What day was it on Christmas?
It was before Christmas.
Okay, before Christmas. I think it was somewhere before Christmas, and there was a Christmas parade. Ones that have flashy lights and come down. Well, you know how I have to wear glasses for flashy lights, right? Apparently, I didn't need the glasses. I saw it with my own 2 eyes without them, and that's the first time ever doing it.
And you've been able to have fireworks.
Well, hey, other than the fire, so this is the first parade she's attended since she was about 11 years.
But she's also gone to a club where there was strobing lights where she couldn't go before either.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And it's just continuing these wonderful milestones for her. So she...
Especially some of the lights there were super, super fast. Really fast. And that didn't even bother me, and I didn't even need my glasses for that either.
She's reading faster, going through her books much quicker. We're seeing overall what is key also is her body stability. So since 2024, she came off Creon, which is a pancreatic enzyme, and then which was for malabsorption, because she no longer has malabsorption. She had been on that drug since 2019 and had started the diet in 2018. And she had gotten down to 87 pounds, and now she is like 120, 122.
122 pounds the other day, she said. It was 122.
121 to 120.
Oh my God, I just love this. It makes me cry because you know what, Hayley? For you to interrupt your mom and say, no, that's not, we never expected it.
Hang on. What?
I never expected any of this. This makes me cry because I'm so happy that you can argue with us. Like we never expected you to do that. We just didn't. It makes me so happy to see this. Like it just, yeah. Sorry, I'm not bawling because I'm sad. I'm bawling because I can have a conversation with you and you argue with me, and I love that.
And then in 2025, in around April, she came off oxazepam, which is a benzo. So they started taking her off that. Now she's only at half of the amount of raw cannabis she actually requires, because we still don't have the microgreen prescription in order to get them in. And the only alternative to increase it would be to put her on an all fluid diet, which is about at maximum a liter of smoothies throughout the day, and then water.
Yeah,
and that's
not maintained just on.
She has the ability to consume food and things. Why would we take?
Why would we take food away from her? Like, it's not like she's got a colostomy bag and it's her intestinal issues that are causing this. It's got nothing to do with that. She can eat, like, it's not a gluten thing. It's not a celiac thing. It's got nothing to do with her digestion.
Well, okay, so the Creon was so that she could absorb it. That right.
I understand.
Typical with the diet, though, is that you can have severe constipation and even impaction, which can be quite dangerous, right? So now her body's more similar to what it should typically look like. So in the last 2 years and 9 months, right, we're coming up to 3 years here on it. On the half dosage of raw cannabis. The first year was 1 dose. The second year has been 2 doses, or 2 servings of raw cannabis. And she's had microgreens within it, but they are very small amount because she does not yet have her section 140 part 1. Now she's doing great. We're seeing continued stabilization with the glucose.
They did contact you.
Oh yes, they contacted me back today.
It said that I think they're still thinking it because it's not a yes and it's not a no yet, because they can't decide which one yet.
They're making
because they can't wrap around their head the size of the prescription that's needed, and they're not wrapping their head
around
what
it actually means and what it looks like. It doesn't.
Well, that's the thing. They're not wrapping their head around the fact that it's not going to be growing into full flower to begin with. You know, you're not going to have 10,000 fucking flowering fucking plants somewhere.
No, not even close. Like none of it is flowering.
I know this. And I mean, anybody who's even like that doesn't smoke this stuff should like critically be able to understand what you're asking for. They shouldn't have to have it written in a purple fucking crayon for them. You know what I mean? Like, do you have to draw them a picture? See, this is a table. This is like a little like micro tray of lettuce. This is what it looks
You
like.
mean
It's
everything I
this
sent them?
this big. Like, it's this big, man. Like, it's not like a fucking football field, dude. It's a tray that's this big, like literally. What the fuck is wrong with their brains? Like the pea. Like, it doesn't. Just flabbergasted.
I think the only reason why is they can't see what we see is because they're having trouble to believe of what we see and if they did see what we were seeing on all of this, they probably wouldn't do all
I'm
that
pretty sure
stuff.
we've got videos from 10 years ago that we could fucking show them. I'm pretty sure that we've got documentary where you're laying in a fucking bed in a fucking hotel room and your mother's fucking intubating you because you're having a seizure. I was there for that. We've got eyewitness testimony of people that can see the improvement in you, including your own doctors. Like, I don't know what kind of bureaucrats signed off on it. I know, like, and they're not going to believe the medical and the science. They're going to just sit there and go, wow.
Yeah, they're having. Apparently, they're going over my latest stuff that I sent them, and I sent them enough that they should be able to figure it out from there.
Likely they won't. Likely they're going to have to do a whole fucking consultation on it.
Yeah, don't you think
I've offered to speak to whoever is needed in policy or any other medical.
But don't you think I'm right? Since they can't see what we're seeing, that's probably why they don't know.
Well, God, don't let Cheryl, don't let her call them. Don't let them call. Don't let her call them because then they're going to say that she's come too far and she doesn't need it.
Oh, but that's not true. And I actually have documentation proof because
like maybe they should talk to her. Maybe they should talk to her. Maybe Hayley should phone them up and go, "The fuck you doing with my medicine, man?"
I'd be glad to say that.
Let her phone them up and say, "This is Hayley Rose." I need my medicine. Like, what are you doing? Let her phone them.
So
I'm kidding.
As I said, we've got this great reduction. We can see these massive health differences and changes. So she started coming off the diazepam, and she's been on that one since 2008-9, like in around the time it was as a backup because of issues she was having with frontal lobe activity. Because when we started cannabis, it was suppressing so much seizures, but there was still activity because we hadn't honed in on what we were doing at that point, right? So what was my point?
You were trying to point out how we're about the medicine that we are trying to come off it. Only one problem is it's like this big.
Well, that's not the problem.
Well, no, it's this big of a medicine dying off, like that big.
It's a small amount that she has left.
And I haven't been able to come off of it because I don't have enough microgreens and whatever that number was that my mom said.
So is it you can't
all of her
because you can't cut the dosage back far enough for her to be able to wean down?
Yeah, because we did try it before,
but there's still
only one problem was it was apparently coming off the drugs, all those drugs too soon, so we had to put it
slow
back,
it down,
put it back, and told them to stop.
We didn't put it back in, love.
No, they cut it down a little.
Oh, they decreased, but what happened was we started having troubles. Now the troubles come because the raw cannabis helps to stabilize her glucose. And when it's doing that, different than typical methods in stabilizing glucose, because her glucose will drop to 2.1. Okay, and like recently has done this.
And a couple of times it has dropped to 1.9.
And what's a normal level? Just for anybody who doesn't know what a normal blood level is, for somebody doesn't get the highs and lows, what's a normal level for blood?
5, 6.
Right. So if you go above 5-6, you're having a high.
But if you hit 6-8 in the morning after a fast, you're pre-diabetic.
Right, so, exactly.
But you also,
so that's what I mean. Like I'm trying to explain to people that don't know. Like you have high H1, was it H1-2 or whatever it is? You are diabetic, right? So if you're not, but Hayley's not diabetic. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Hayley's not diabetic. So they watch her blood and her blood levels. So normal blood level is 5.6. And that anybody who's diabetic has a higher blood level. Usually they have to keep it lowered, but it fluctuates.
And also, if you're diabetic, it can drop right out as well.
Right. Because your pancreas, you're having the effects of your body producing insulin. Now, Hayley doesn't have problems producing insulin. Another thing, right?
Well, okay, so she's not diabetic, but the medication for the malabsorption was a pancreatic enzyme.
Right.
And which is kind of interesting because of how the pancreas is affected with diabetes as well, right? So there's some interesting things to that, but she is not diabetic.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that was clear for anybody who's never seen this or doesn't know you guys, because she's not diabetic, but she still wears a blood monitoring.
Yes, she does. She wears the Libre 2 continuous blood monitor.
Right.
And that's because on it today.
That's right, because the keto diet too that she's on, it keeps her at a certain regulated blood glucose level, right? And so that she doesn't seize, right? And that's to help her stay away from having seizures, right? And then
as long as the ketones are in a certain range, she's got a beautiful EEG.
Right. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody that is watching understands that Hayley's not diabetic. She's not wearing that Libra because diabetes is on top of the issues she already has, right? That's just a way of monitoring and showing that the cannabis juice is actually helping monitor or helping
her body back the homeostasis.
When it hits 3.2, it lets my mom know before it goes into seizures.
Yeah, because too low. So here's the crazy thing about it. If it's too high, her ketones will be too low, right? And then she will have seizures. And seizures actually will temporarily raise your glucose levels. If it's too low, she can have a hypoglycemic seizure, which is not treated the same way as an epileptic seizure, right? Totally different ways of treatment because they're due to different causes. But it still will shoot that glucose up, even if it would happen because it was low. It'll make it jump, and the ketones will immediately start dropping.
But effectively,
Pardon?
But effectively, the cannabis juice is helping to.
Well, yeah, because she was having. So check this out. Without the continuous glucose monitoring, we had 75 events in 1 month that required up to 2 liters of apple juice to correct. That was 3 months before starting the cannabis juice. Okay. So once we put this Libre on her last year, we realized that she was probably having hundreds when we were clocking 75 because we only were doing the finger blood test. Okay. So she was probably having way more life-threatening events. We're not going back in time and trying to figure that out and redoing that. There's no way that would be life-threatening. No. However, what we now see is there's a stability happening with her where her ketone amount that would be classic range for seizure control, more classic range for, in her case, is now going right into the proper range because she was on a very high ketone before, 5 to 6. Okay. Now we're seeing in the 4 range.
Not really.
At 3.5.
Sometimes there was a ketone that was 7 and
but that's when it was too high. That was we had to correct it.
And what about when it went HI?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that part, but I'm just letting them know the basics. You like this?
Quick question. Yeah, I love it. Quick question. Now we know that puberty started kind of causing things to go all wacky too, right? Now, are you still monitoring the hormone levels? Do you think that's
monitoring the hormone levels? Also, in the day, her glucose is like 4-5, roughly 5 range. It even went up to 6 this morning, but her ketones are a little bit low. But nighttime, it can drop. So as soon as she falls asleep, her glucose starts going low. And so we really watch every night. So her diet is so fine-tuned to her. We're monitoring the patterns of changes that through hormones that affect the diet, which we see. And so we'll have to do an increase in the ratio, which means the nighttime rate. So typically in a day, 3 of the ratios are 1 because she's awake, and 1 is different for the bedtime, right? So, and it's actually a much lower dosage. Like she is right now at 3.5 to 1 in the day, and nighttime is 2 to 1.
Right.
Because otherwise the glucose will bottom right out and we will have massive emergencies.
And so for anybody that doesn't understand what cannabis juicing is, this is juicing the plant itself.
Yes, by adding the juice.
But are you just doing the bud, or are you doing the leaf and the fan?
No, it's leaf.
No.
Leaf.
There's no bud? There's no bud. So just leaf.
Just leaf.
So what would happen if you did bud too? What would the effectiveness be?
I don't know. It's just
because that's what I mean. Like, so right now she's just juicing leaf with no actual THC spectrum, or is there THC spectrum in it?
There's cannabinoids.
I know, but again, I'm just asking, like, because this is questions I get asked too. So if you're not juicing the bud and it's not a dried bud and it's a fresh bud, it hasn't been dried, right? So it hasn't gone through the full curing process,
right off the plant, rinse,
right?
rinse.
So again, you're not going to high off this juice, right?
Yeah. No, you cannot get high off the juice.
Right.
The juice
so that's what I try to explain to people. They're trying to say,
well,
it's got cannabinoids in it. How come I'm not going to get high? Because it's not meant for you to get high.
It's acidic. It's cold. It's fresh.
You keep it in the freezer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the thing. People aren't understanding, and I don't think the government understands until you
There's no high. There's no high. There's
no high.
Fresh, cold. No. When
you have to
prepare it, you don't blast the daylights out of it. You do not want it getting hot. The minute it starts to heat up, it's going to have those acids break off, and then you could have your high to it. And when we look at how much it is, I mean, she's drinking a shot, basically, 30 grams is the average dosage of her leaf.
It's like drinking
drink that is.
Yeah.
So it's like a wheatgrass shot, the same size.
But it's very bitter. So
when we drink it, it's
I know that. But I mean, like, people think of an ounce of pot being like this, right? This dried flour.
No, it's a shot glass of juice.
Yeah,
right. But exactly, an ounce of alcohol is the same as an ounce of cannabis juice, right? Same thing, same shot glass, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Only you're not going to get high. You're not going to get drunk off that cannabis shot, but you might get drunk off 30 alcohol shots. But 30 cannabis shots, you ain't going to get nothing but healthy.
No.
Right. Now, on that note, my friends, we got 2 minutes, so keep talking. We have to take a break, and we have to take a break and thank our sponsors so we can do these shows.
Of course. Just that if we can increase it when we get the microgreens, and she can actually have it 4 servings a day like she's supposed to have, where she's going to get the fullness because of their microgreens, right? So we've got that volume that we're looking for. Right. She's getting the fibers because it is in plant. And I mean, apple versus apple juice, you're getting way more fiber in an apple, although there's a lot of carbohydrates.
Right.
And her carbohydrate content that she can consume is quite low. So I can't just double and triple up the amount in a serving.
And, if I had the microgreens, I would be more stable, and would be able to be healthy enough to get dentures, because
because we've got to keep that
I want to keep it stable because people told us we should go to the hospital.
Yeah, and like her doctors don't want to do that, but a lot of dentists are afraid.
But yeah, that's what would happen.
I understand that.
She's waiting, right?
That's what happened.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and again, like 2 years ago, even Oh, hi, Melissa. Melissa's watching. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing the comments right here now. Sorry, I was on a different screen. Hi. But again, even 2 years ago, like if we were talking to Hayley even 2 years ago, we wouldn't be talking to Hayley the way we're talking to Hayley now. Like the improvement is like incredible. Right. And again, when we come back from the break, I want to talk about the fact of the acidity, right? And the cannabis microgreens, and why you have found in your research why you don't want to do edible any farther than this point of cold congestion, right?
Yeah. And
right.
It would yeah.
Well, for health wise, like, I mean, we're talking about health wise, like even when I'm making like my gummies, okay, it's still heating up that process. So once you're heating up that, then it's no longer alkali anymore, right? No matter how you slice
there's no acid on it. It knocks it right off.
Right. So again, even if you're using keef in your baking, once it's heated, you decarbon, you're locking all that off, right? So the alkalinity, it's not the same. It doesn't affect and it doesn't work the same. And that's, I think, what people don't understand. They figure, well, this and it doesn't work. That's why it works for some people, not the other. And it's the way you consume it as to how it's going to effectively work for you. And this is like, I've never thought about it as a cold alkalinity thing being done, but
I'll tell you about, when we come back, I'll tell you a little bit about some tests we did and answer why we don't just give her acidic cannabinoids.
Right. And, right. And
there's a whole different thing between the two, right?
And we don't talk about our body's pH levels either, right? And how that affects our health. And I think a lot of people don't understand. Again, like they're not dealing with seizures and the longevity that you've been going and doing.
There's more. Right? We're seeing not just the seizure reduction, but because her body is becoming more stable and has kind of hit this point where once she can increase it, we're going to see more.
Less seizures than I was before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
better tone in. Things are perfect.
Like I said, we got to take a quick break when we come back. But again, like I'm like, I will be right back after a quick break from our sponsors.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
All right, we're back, and thanks again to our great sponsors and to Al, our producer that puts up with me, and Al Rapp, who's also partnered up with us again too. So we have the 420 Pace Network going now. So we're all kind of back into the same umbrella with the network, and and we're always growing. Al's always got something up his sleeve. I think I texted him this morning because he sets this up for us now because we have to do the setup differently, so it can all go to the websites and stuff. So they have to set up the room for me, which I didn't have to do before this new setup. And he was already doing reels and editing from the show that they were doing from this morning. He loves doing this stuff, right? And he's coming, like, he's been, like, you know, on disability and home, and it keeps him busy and engaged, and he's very very good at engaging with people. So yeah, we're gonna have Melissa Ellsworth on Wednesday night as our guest, and she's in Nova Scotia. I don't know if you know Melissa or not, but she was fighting with WCB. She's been fighting with WCB for coverage and stuff for years. And anyways, I will let her tell her story, but I'll tell you after, because it's not, I don't know if it's public yet. So we won't say anything publicly, but she will be our guest Wednesday night on the Pace Radio Show. And I just got some news that one of the pups that I had sold 16 years ago has passed away. So yeah. They were 16, 17 years old, right? Like they were all like super old. So yeah, that's just the way it goes. Life, right? But anyways, we were talking about the life that this beautiful young lady has now like turned herself right into a star. Because like I said, when I first met, and I'm not going to keep going over this, but I want to make people aware of it. There was a time that there was not this communication availability. We're talking to you about you behind your back in front of your face, honey. But we couldn't have had a conversation like this at all. You weren't going to clubs. You didn't have boyfriends. You weren't talking to us and arguing with us and talking back like you are. And we love it, every second of it.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
Don't be sorry. No. I'd rather see this than what I saw 4 or 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Right? Your health has improved so much. You've come like it's just great, because like I said, there was a time that we weren't sure you were going to be here this long.
There's been a few times it's really, I mean, again,
like
in 2008, I was like, man, I fought for 7 years.
Right?
Now,
like your mom,
it's like, if I could have given this and had any idea earlier, we could have, there were other things that we would be far ahead, right? Like it would be completely different.
Again,
but we are here now, so
tiptoed around the tulips because we were dealing with the fact that she was under 18 for a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that made things even more difficult. The fact that we couldn't even bake a cookie legally if it wasn't for the Smith ruling that went to the Supreme Court of Canada, we wouldn't be where we are. Right? Like again, there are people that came along that went to court, fought for our rights. We wouldn't be growing our own cannabis still if it wasn't for Jason Wilcox, rest him, his dear soul, right? Again, and all these people that came before us that aren't here with us today, to sit and see you like this. You know how happy they would be to see you like this? Like as happy as I am. I'm just here to be able to tell you. But Gail Quinn and Jason and Michelle Rainey and all the people that aren't here, that saw you, that knew you, right? Saw you struggling, helped your mom, they'd be so happy. They would be, because this is what, and the reason why we fought. You, the rest of us too, but you were a big reason why a lot of us were standing up too, right? Because we saw the ability that children did need this. Maya, like Sarah and Sean and all the people before us, right, that aren't here to watch this. So I am just like elated that I can sit here and have you.
And we're not done.
Your haircut, and that you went to a parade, and you interrupt your mom, and I love this. Like I love it. I love it. I love that I can have you on my show, because there was a time that you came on my show that we weren't sure you were even going to be able to be on the show, and you weren't able to talk to us like you talk to us now. You weren't able to have a conversation like this. So from our perspective, seeing what we're seeing, keep on drinking that juice and being as magical and as beautiful as you are. Because when I told you are our cannabis advocate, you are our cannabis warrior. It's another one of those hashtag told ya. Because you are the biggest success that we've got. Not we. I've got nothing to do. There's no mouse in my pocket. Your mom. Your mom has worked so hard for this. Back to school, doing the research, making sure that
I went back to school to do this. Literally, that's what I am in school for. And now that's what we're doing.
And now she can argue with you until you know it's 4.7 grams, Mom. Because you're learning with her, right? Like she's learning with you, and everything that you're taught her, she's now able to absorb and learn for herself too, right?
Oh yeah,
and articulate it. And articulate it.
For example, one thing that my mom's teaching me that before I couldn't make my own cannabis meals, and because I couldn't understand
any of them.
Or any of it at all, because I couldn't understand the numbers. Now me and my mom have been practicing making them, and now I can do it without her help.
I'm teaching her how to use the calculators that the dietitians have.
But again, she's listening to you
have
talk.
more control.
Right. But again, she's listening to you talk, Cheryl. Like even us talking on the show, her brain's absorbing all the stuff, and now she's able to actually keep it there. She's educating herself the same way we educated ourselves by learning and listening, and now she's able to articulate that too. Whereas before she couldn't do that.
And you know how you said earlier, what happens if they go, oh, she looks so great, and you can just stop there. No, we can't, because we're halted because Health Canada hasn't approved it. Means they've stopped. We can't reduce your diazepam anymore until they allow her to have raw cannabis. In her microgreens is what she needs to have. Right. And then we can finish completing what the neurologist wanted us to do, which is reduce it. So we've been halted by that, unfortunately. And she still has major glucose drops.
You mean like holding back medicine?
Yeah.
Yes, because
you still get it.
We were supposed to stop it a while ago.
And we're stuck since September.
We're stuck and
because of licensing. Right, because of the licensing, right? Like in reality, your mom's not going to stop. Like,
she's still getting
none of us are going to stop.
The licensing for the microgreens. And the thing is that I have to be able, she's got to be able to have them to be able to consume them.
Can you explain legally, publicly, what's going on with Health Canada, or do you want to just keep that?
Well, I applied in October for a Section 140 Part 1, which is a special it's an exemption for her to have cannabis microgreens. Okay? Because
they did not
fall under the current ACMPR regulations. There was no way to calculate it out. And so the first application I did, I was thorough. I was real thorough. I was so thorough, they said, so
you weren't technically applying for an ACMPR, you're applying for a Section 1-141, which will keep Hayley exempt, plus you able to do your research.
Well, no, not exactly. So what happened was
that's what I want you to explain. That's what I want you to explain.
Okay, so I applied for the Section 140 Part 1. Health Canada liked it so much, they redirected us from Section 140 Part 1 to research license and clinical trials. So we got bumped to that, which, okay, great. So, and I'll get into where that's at now. So since then though, but that didn't allow Hayley to have access. Maybe access for clinical trials, but not until then. And, there's a whole lot of other stuff.
Well, no, because even when you go into clinical trials and you're going before you get a licensed producer, doesn't give the patient access, the people access to it.
Yeah. She doesn't, and in the research I'm doing, she still does not get to it. So I am done the research license. This is what we're doing research right now. And I am looking for licensed producers to support in the cultivation, and I am looking for donors and investors who would like to take part in it and may wish to contribute to this research. and I'm working with a research institution that I am under an NDA, so I cannot disclose anything on that. However, you can look up cannabis, or you can email me at cannabis microgreen, not greens. There's no S on it. Research. So cannabis microgreen research at gmail.com. If you would like to hear more about that and are interested in, joining this, right? So, and that
there will be need for humans for clinical trial at some point.
Well, so the first stage that I'm doing right now, this is what the results of this, after the results of this, is when we go to clinical trials. So we have to do this first part first. Right. And then it goes from there to clinical trials.
But how does that affect so how does it affect the ACMPR for Hayley? So because if you have one, you can't have another.
So if I'm applying, what's happened was, so that kind of is on its own going on. She's not part of that research because just how it's structured that you would do that to go to clinical trials.
Right.
So I applied a second time and a third time for Section 140, Part 1. The second one, dead air, nothing. Didn't hear a thing. Third one, I started to get a response. And the response was, oh, this goes to ACMPR. And they looped in that. So I've got a looping of the lady who deals with it, the exemptions, Health Canada, and my lawyer and myself in this big chain. And so we've been going back and forth over the last while, since December.
Since when?
Well, originally I first started trying to apply in October. And then that one is the one that they redirected to research and clinical trials. And then the second one was end of November, beginning of December. And then about 14, the last response I had with them was on December 30th. However, throughout these last responses that we've been going through, they were like ACMPR, and then ACMPR, the controlled substance, tunes in and goes, no, it has to be this is how our regulations are and our plant count. So then I have to, let them know, look, this doesn't work and this is why. And then I didn't hear anything.
This is not flowered plant. Like, it's
and they already know that because they have everything I've been sending them since October.
No, right? Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's almost like what they do. Shift it from one desk to another desk to another desk to shift it back to another desk.
Well, they didn't know what to do.
There's only 5 desks in the whole fucking department. Like, with the whole, they got a fucking group chat for it. Like, come on.
So then I messaged them and I didn't hear anything for like 9 days or so. And knowing that today they said if so in their emails, in this time in responding, the emails state that if I reinstate her ACMPR, the Section 140 Part 1 application will be closed. So I cannot reinstate her ACMPR, and I do not have the Section 140 yet. And I have Dr. Courtney on the phone. Oh, okay. Hang on.
You better take that. Melissa's saying this is an access. No, if you need to take that, you can just mute yourself or whatever you need to do if you need to take that. But Melissa's like watching too, because she's also like our guest Wednesday night, and she's saying this is an access. And then we've been saying that right from the time they rolled us with the Cannabis Act and took the MMAR into ACMPR into the abyss of the Cannabis Act. Stuck way in the back, way in the very back.
Tamara, ACMPR, she can grow the plants that can grow the bud. She can get the leaf of it. She can get the seed. She can't plant cannot plant the seeds for the microgreens. Not in the quantity she needs.
No, I know.
And it's such a disconnect because they don't calculate it that way. So I didn't hear anything.
They've never calculated that. I spent like a couple of emails going, hey guys. That's the thing. They've always calculated a seed sprout as a plant, as a full grown plant. And you can thank law enforcement for that part of it, right? Because that's who advised them on that.
So I've been sending emails back, and finally I went, okay, that's it. I'm going to give them step by step what what we need to do. And so I sent them that in accordance with with the ACMPR and their kind of structure, looking at as cannabis and not as a functional food, because my research is in cannabis as a microgreens as functional food. This is where my whole, that's the umbrella of the research that I'm doing, right? And then there's parts to it under it. But with what I sent them photos that corresponded with the math, that corresponded with their issues within their regulations, which so that they have everything. And I am literally sitting waiting. And so they responded. So today they were supposed to close the file. I got a response this morning that, as Hayley told you guys, that they are reviewing it now. So now hopefully they will understand and they can figure it out, because I've sent them, what they need to know. I've sent them COAs.
I'm just looking because you know how I always say, until they recognize cannabis as medicine, we're going to keep going around in the same fucking circle. And they still don't recognize cannabis as medicine unless you go to sell it in the recreational market and then don't talk about medical cannabis.
Yeah, that's kind of ironic, isn't it? It's not medical unless you're at a rec store. That's hilarious to me. It just
blows my mind. It blows my mind that they distinguish, but you can buy capsules and you can buy lotions and you can buy this and that are medical item, medical usage. Because edibles aren't to get, edibles were never used by patients to get high.
No.
Medical
I don't use edibles to get high. It keeps everybody likes me better on it because I communicate better. Right? I have ADHD and I can't take the pharmaceuticals. My doctor will not prescribe them to me because I have was born with a heart murmur. So
right, exactly. And that's exactly why you can't take them if you have any heart problems at all. That's one thing. They make you do a cardiogram before they actually, because I take the ADHD medication and I actually had to have an EKG done before. Okay. Oh yeah, my doctor, the psychiatrist, made me do a P test, made me have my blood work done. I had to have an EKG done. I had to make sure that, because my grandfather has high blood pressure, right? But it's not a heart problem, it wasn't a heart angina or anything like that. It's just high blood pressure runs in my family. They had to have all that information before they would prescribe me anything too, because if you take a stimulant and you have heart problems, it's going to blow your heart up, right? It's just there's no way you're taking it. Just take more cannabis, because that's all I can take. Exactly. And again, if for me, edibles put me to sleep. They're if I want to sleep, I can eat them, but if they don't effectively, I just smoke it all day long.
They help my focus and stuff, but I how much I'm consuming depends on how bad my ADHD and my PTSD that is in that day, right? So I do get that nice flexibility with it.
Well, when I was working, I couldn't smoke cannabis before I went to work. I was at work, blah blah blah. So I was always in pain, inflammation, and I was the whole time I worked. All you heard on my Facebook was, "Oh my god, I'm in so much fucking pain today."
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking walking on marbles today, but that's because I haven't taken my methotrexate for 4 weeks either. But I'm also smoking and consuming cannabis at a higher volume since I've been off work than I was when I was working. So I'm not in nearly as much pain, and I'm not chalking it up the fact that I'm taking a bunch of pharma, because I haven't been. I'm chalking it up the fact that I'm able to consume not what I should be because I can't afford to, but at least I'm consuming cannabis all day, right? I'm doing it. I'm smoking before, it's not like I'm having to stop for 6 hours, and you know what I mean, and trying to then catch up that cannabinoid that I need to keep the pain and the inflammation down. So I feel that since I've quit working, my cannabis consumption has gone back up to what it was before. So I feel like my RA is not improving. It's not. It never will. But I'm not having to take as much pharmaceutical, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm not taking you're able to manage it.
I'm not taking morphine. I was taking morphine on a regular basis. I hate to say it, but I was having to go, when I was in flare, I was using gabapentin and morphine on a daily basis just to be able to go to fucking work. And then I'd go to work with a fucking heating pad that I could plug in behind me and have a heating pad on my shoulder. My hands and my wrists were so swollen I can barely use like lift my arm to fucking use the till, never mind fucking push the, debit machine across the till or pack somebody's groceries. But I did it. But I was taking morphine and gabapentin every fucking day. That's why I had to give it up, because the last 6 weeks before I quit, I was literally taking morphine every fucking day. I've had to wean myself off of it. Like, I had to fucking wean myself off because I was taking it every day. And if I quit taking it, I would have probably been sick. So I had to wean myself back off, right? But even the gabapentin, like, I took it when I needed it, and I still, like, unless I need it, I don't take it. I smoke first. And if that doesn't kill it, then I will go to the pharma. But like I said, that's why I quit working. I was taking, like I said, I would have been addicted to fucking morphine if I would have kept working. And
that's a major issue.
Well, like, what would be, like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm fucking a broke joke, but I'm also not I'm not addicted to morphine.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like, how you're coming off the benzos. It's a Medicaid, and we have to watch out for side effects like that because of withdrawal, because it's addictive. That's why we don't want you on them. That's why the neurologist said, no, we don't want you on that, because if we have to use a benzo, we want to have those for heavy hitters if there's an emergency situation.
To make that the burning medicine.
Yeah, that's my Dazzalon. That's a benzo.
If I keep on using it more often, apparently I'll get addicted to it, and it will stop working.
Exactly the problem.
Okay, folks. Well, we have rolled up right up to the full hour.
There you go.
So, Cheryl, I want you to do a shout out because you're going to be at Grow Up.
Yes.
The 19th. Okay, so you let everybody know where you're going to be, how to get a hold of you, and
I will be up at Grow Up from the 19th to 21st every single day. I don't know whereabouts I'll be there, but I'll be all over there. Please come say hello. I have opened my Facebook page so that you guys can see. I have put up my business card on Cannabis, Microgreens,
on my page,
medical and nutritional research. You can get a hold of me that way. You can email me, and it has a phone number. Oh, Hayley wants to quickly show you her newest treat.
Cookie.
That is the best protein cookie that has 1 carb in it.
And funny thing, it tastes like a brownie than a cookie.
That's good.
Yeah. I gotta show you my cookie.
Yeah, that looks really good, because you know what, I've been, since I quit working at the store and I really found this to be a thing, I was eating way too much sugar.
Yeah, this only has 1 gram of carbohydrate in 1 cookie. So, and when you consider that her carbohydrate content is 2.28 or 2.12 grams up to 2.75 grams of carbohydrate per meal, depending. I mean, if that's a day meal, a night meal could be up to 7.5 because of the switch of the ratios, right?
Right.
But it's something. Right. Things like that are a special treat. So if you are on restricted carbs, we are not promoted by the thumbs up from Hayley. Wanted to, hey.
And that's a thumbs up from Hayley. That's an endorsed cookie by Hayley Rose. So that's an endorsed.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Quest Bake Shop frosted cookies. Her favorite is chocolate cake, but they have multiple flavors, and we're going to be trying more. It is something that only has 1 gram of carbohydrate. It has good amount of protein, and it's so if you're looking for something for that sugar craving, then you can't do it. That is her latest recommendation for you.
Well, I look forward to hearing more about what happens at Grow Up, and I look forward to seeing pictures and stuff. And you all dressed up to go, miss, with your beautiful new haircut and stuff. You look great. And the fact that you're going to keep growing it so you can donate your hair, because you just got a heart of gold on top of just being the most special person ever. And I just love the fact that you're doing so well. And I just love you guys both to death. So, again, Cheryl will be at Grow Up this in Vancouver.
Hayley will make an appearance. I just haven't scheduled which day yet.
So I'll be there too. Mommy's not sure which day.
And everybody looks forward to seeing you, I'm sure. So go check out Grow Up in Vancouver so you can hook up with these guys. I will post all of Cheryl's information also on Cannabis and Coffee's page, and I will promote the fact that they will be there, and the information will be on my personal page too. And again, I'd like to thank you both for coming on the show. Again, stick around after the show so I can say goodbye properly, because you know how this thing, you can't talk during the closing, and then we'll say goodbye properly after the closing of the show. So thanks everybody for coming on. Don't forget that Wednesday night we have Melissa Ellsworth, sorry, Melissa, coming on from Nova Scotia. She's been fighting with WCB in Nova Scotia for a decade, and we need to hear some updates from her. So she'll be live with me and Al on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Pace Radio Show, which is People Advocating Cannabis Education. You have a great week, and we'll see you Wednesday. Bye, all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now I just got to end it. It takes a minute for this thing to kick in.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
We are People Advocating Cannabis Education here at paceradio.net.